It's been a gloriously red day. Yesterday was also gloriously red. And this is not some small movement. AMD, for example, AMD has lost 1/3 of its entire market cap since March 8. That's not a nick. That's like a sea change. And my view is that in so many industries, this is really just the start of something much broader. There's lots of wiggles and waggles along the way. The doe-eyed enthusiasm about, say, AI has been berserk. Slowly, people are beginning to elect to exchange these shares of companies with PEs of 700 for cash. We have 2 full days of down, which hasn't happened since April. It's nice. I'm getting a little cautious / not greedy. I a few minutes ago took profits on my IWM puts. I'm kind of just sitting tight though. My only bullish position now that I've just got into is silver, of all things. Got some silver calls. We'll see. I'm hoping metals kind of get a mind of their own as opposed to just slavishly following along with equities. But a nice fat down day, which is wonderful on the heels of, 41,000 on the Dow, just absolute unchecked insanity. And VIX is like 2. XLI, the industrials, failed bullish breakout. So today is Thursday. On Tuesday, this thing exploded higher. That's gone. Past couple of days have completely wiped it out. Yay. And so we've got a failed bullish breakout. Also good news. It's good news all over the place. So we're just drowning in it. EWZ, day 9. If you're hearing about this, look at that go. Is that beautiful? Down almost 3%. Super tight options. Just a terrific moneymaker on this. So that's just going splendidly. Now, one of the big earnings yesterday was United Airlines. I had a bunch of puts on this. It's been all over the map. It was up big. It's been down a little bit. At the moment, it's down not quite 1%. It's got for the moment, a bearish engulfing pattern versus yesterday's bar. Of course, now that we're past earnings, the risk is sort of out. It's left the room, and that's more of a pure chart play. So I've augmented this position some now that we're past earnings, and my stop there is at 49.67 at the top of today's price activity. Another big mover today was one that for the longest time I thought was a great short, but it just never seemed to work out. Domino's Pizza, purveyor of Earth's most mediocre pizza. If you want to get stuff, the companies in Chicago, I'm sure they've got pizza there. If you're in Palo Alto, Delfina's, very fine choice. Domino's, I would not elect to order a Domino's, but for some reason, a lot of people did because this was a fantastically successful company. And back here, it was one of the most gorgeous short setups I'd ever seen in my life. It was about a year ago. Didn't do a thing. It just completely defied gravity, went blasting higher, just about matched its prior high. But then the cheese has come off, and so it's down hard. So we're down today alone about 14%. So ugly chart, not something I would ever have had a position in based upon its ugliness, but it's mildly psychically rewarding to see this thing erase some dollars. Is this right? Yeah, okay. A little bit of home building here. On the one hand, home builders today hit the highest levels they've seen in the history of the known universe. On the other hand, it has got a massive shooting star right now. That's this candlestick pattern right here. I bought puts on XHB, which I'll show you next, earlier today, based upon the unchecked lunacy of this ascent. And this is looking really good for a nice tumble. As you can see here on this multi-decade chart, we're very, very, very high on this. But as I said, my own positions, XHB, which likewise lifetime high today, but a big old shooting star pattern like so. One of the most boring semiconductor stocks out there, one I don't even bother looking at, was the big news this morning. It's Taiwan Semiconductor. It's just Dulceville Incorporated. We've got a little diamond up here. Yesterday we tumbled hard on this. Earnings came out this morning. We're down again. Bearish engulfing pattern. Snore. There's just so much better stuff to trade, I think. But that was helpful, at least, since I'd like semiconductors to keep falling. I've got my biggest position now is SMH. I've got Micron. Let's look at some of those other items because semiconductors is definitely hugely important. It's been foundational to the absolute unchecked insanity, this pandemonium of this buying that's taken place for 2 solid years, particularly after ChatGPT, which I don't use it. Do you? Was announced. It's funny because like at the bottom of the bear market, like in the autumn of 2022, I think it was, they really needed something. And that's when this whole AI thing kind of kicked in, and it added trillions, literally trillions of dollars in market cap based upon, I'm not quite sure yet, but the timbers are definitely starting to crack. The biggest timber of all, of course, is Nvidia, whose headquarters, by the way, is about 5 miles from where I live, and it's amazing. It looks like something out of a science fiction Martian colony. It's sensationally beautiful, but I think the company maybe has peaked as of was it March 8 in this case, or was it more recent than that? No, it was on June 20. Yeah, that was all the excitement about the stock split. And as I said yesterday, emphatically, the failure of the midline is something I've yacked about since the beginning of time. It finally happened, and that's good. And the next desire here on my part is there a failure of the lows we saw yesterday and today. The goal is all the way down there. Get your binoculars out. It's way, way, way down there where that gap is and where this trend line will ultimately be. That's an ambitious target. But as I said, I mean, even in the case of, say, AMD, a third gone, can you imagine? Like, think of Apple. You would lose $1 trillion in market cap for that to be a third gone. $1 trillion, which is 1/36 of our nation's debt, I believe. Micron, another terrific one. MU, falling. Plenty of room to go on this. I've taken a little profit on that as well, but on the whole, most of the position's still there. And I've spoken about AMD enough. They're down hard. ARM also down. This is ARM Holdings, which had peaked, last week or so, and we're starting to get close to a support level here. In fact, I've been kind of struggling with where is support, because if you look at the SOX index, which I'm not showing you right here, but we are right at the cusp of a major failure. But I'm not sure if it's going to cross that or not. A good way to look at this is by way. No, this isn't a great way actually, because it's not near that support. Use the theater of the mind. But the SOX is right near support with the SMH. It's suggesting that there may be more downside here by way of that gap. And Nvidia is the most important component of this, and Nvidia does not look poised to bounce in any meaningful amount of time. So that's worth taking note of. I cleared out of this position completely. It was a very short-term position. I bought puts on Tuesday. I took profits earlier today. It's got a nice little hammer pattern there. If it bounces back to this gap, oh my goodness, that would be nice. I will get a much bigger position then. That will be a beautiful setup. So just keep that in mind for the future. Abercrombie and Fitch, ANF. Let's keep an eye on that gap. I'm not in this one, and it's kind of too late. I was toying with the idea, but it's moving so quickly now. This is Caesars Entertainment, CZR, falling away from that pink topping pattern. That's pretty nifty. And I would also say Tesla is doing a remarkable job holding its own. I mean, we've lost over, I think, 1,000 points on the NQ in recent days. And Tesla, it's red, it's down, but barely. I mean, 0.02%. So it's really our Fibonacci friends are really doing a good job just clinging to those prices. And next week after earnings, we'll see if we'll ease down to that gap or if it's going to be a whole new era and we push past this little cluster of activity. Earnings galore tonight and tomorrow morning. This evening, I believe ISRG is coming out. For myself, this chart's very dull. For a long-term holder of it, it's terrific. It's been an amazing chart for a long, long time, but I don't trade this kind of thing. Even more dull, American Express, but a monster of a stock, and at lifetime highs today on an intraday basis. Clearly, especially since the financial crisis, fantastically successful. I just eyeballing this, it looks like, well, I can't even see how many thousands of percent it's gone up, but it's been extraordinary move. Schlumberger, also in the morning, I believe, like this, gotten kind of sloppy. I'm not trading this anymore myself. The one I'll be looking at with interest, although I'm not taking a position, is Netflix. As I mentioned a couple of days ago, it double topped. This dashed line right here, that's the lifetime high. We made it here in 2021. We made it here like a few weeks ago. As with Nvidia, we have broken below this dashed line, this midline of the channel, and we are just teetering at support right here. So go on record, no position, but I think it's going to fall. That's my dumb guess. And my dumb guess is I never have a position in, and they're almost always right. And so I'll just not make any money. But that's my patented dumb guess. I think it's going to fall. Let's wrap up. IWM threw off good profits today. I'm out. I think it's vulnerable all the way down to this gap. So if we keep falling tomorrow, I shall do something I'm very good at, which is beat myself up. But at the moment, I'm taking profits on IWM, but it looks very, very vulnerable for that whole range right there. And as I said, just shortly before the show, I did go long. It's my smallest position at the moment, but I have every intention of growing if it does okay. Silver, long silver, SLV, hard stop on this down here, right at this green dashed line. But my view here is that we could be getting ourselves in position to resume the rally, but we'll see. Okay, well, good luck to you. It's been another terrific day. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll wrap up the week. Bye-bye.